Hello, everyone. Mary Ann LeRay here at the filling station, and have Marcy back in the studio with us. And this is part 2 of our balance module. We have kicked off a bridging foods and meds program through the sponsorship of Carolina East Foundation. And we have 6 modules that we're working through. And there was so much to share in the balance module. What does it mean to be balanced in your life? We had to do part 2. So I am excited today to pick up this conversation with Marcy. Yep.
Yes, here we are.
Good to have you back. And, the more we do this, the more relaxed we get. I think a couple of recordings ago, we were talking about how giggly and laughing we were a couple episodes ago. And, this might look pretty, easy to do, but it does take a lot of practice to, work through our scripts and have conversations and to give you all a good product to actually watch. So we are hopeful that this will be another great episode for you to glean from and empower, advocate for yourself and becoming healthier than you ever thought possible. So let's dive right in to mental and emotional balance. Now, we're hearing a lot about mental health these days. And, it's not something that we've spent a lot of time on. Therefore, I'm so grateful that we have so many companies that are realizing, organizations that are saying, "Hey, this is a real deal here." So, to achieve balance as far as our emotional and our mental health, what does emotional balance look like?
Well, a lot of people think that you have to be happy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really what the balance is. The balance should be something that means that you are able to control your emotions and deal with the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You need to feel the emotion.
Yeah.
But you also need to be able to figure out a way to continue on with that emotion and not let it consume you.
Mm-hmm. Define it. Call it out. Define it.
And
then take a breath.
Right. Take a breath, and figure out how to go about that day, how to continue on with that emotion.
And it's really not when things or if things happen, it's when they happen.
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of times, hey, I'm the kind of person, I'm a rose class color girl. I love to look at the cup half full. But I also have lived long enough, I know that stuff's going to happen.
Right.
And there are going to be things totally out of my control, out of your control. And being able to equip ourselves to know how to respond to those things. And we'll get into different ways and types of things. I love to use the lean in. So, whenever the XYZ thing is happening, you stop and you kind of lean into what's happening. Most of the times people would tend to run away.
And ignore it.
Right. But when you look at it head on and lean into it, there's something psychological that happens to create more of a balance.
I think your body says, your brain tells your body, you can do this.
Yeah.
You got the tools.
Yeah.
And you're strong.
Yeah.
So when you lean into it, you're giving yourself that energy or the approval that you can do it.
Yeah. Going back to that vagus nerve, I was looking at a Costco magazine this month, and they got a 2-page article about the vagus nerve. I am reading so much good stuff about how our bodies were created, how they're meant to balance themselves.
And how hard they work every single minute of a day.
Yeah. How does constant stimulation and screen time affect our mental health and our emotional balance? Wow, that's a big question.
That's a big question. Well, there have been some studies to prove that people that are on the screen, their phones, their computers, too much of the day, they have their attention span has shortened. It is stimulating your brain, so it needs that constant stimulation. And when it's quiet or tries to be quiet, your anxiety starts up because you don't know what to do with it yourself. And it really has affected, I believe, a lot of people with these cell phones. I mean, it's addictive. And a lot of people, when they do have their quiet time, what do? They don't know what to do. They grab their phone, start scrolling.
Yeah. And I have found too that when you're a little overwhelmed or unsure about what things are going on in the world, that's the worst time to pick your phone up, because it adds to that. The screen time, the blue glasses that people are now selling to help with the eyes, and so it's even going to eye health. There's a notification or a setting you can do now to actually limit your screen time, so you're not able to get into your phone.
But you have to turn that on.
You have to turn it on, and making sure that maybe an hour before you go to bed.
Yes.
No TV in the room, no phone in the room. Making sure.
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. A lot of people use it as their alarm clock.
Yeah.
They've taken away their alarm clocks and they use their phone, but.
So what was meant for good, and it is a good tool, but it all goes back to balance.
Right. So if you do that, put it far away from your desk, from your nightstand. The farther away, the better it is.
Yeah.
So there's ways around that if you do need to use that as your alarm and notification.
Do you remember the little comic? We used to watch cartoons on Saturday mornings. They don't do that anymore. I mean, used to, Saturday mornings, that's the only time you could watch cartoons.
Right.
But do you remember Roadrunner?
Oh, yes.
The Roadrunner and the Coyote?
Yes.
Whenever I think about the phone, I think about the Roadrunner and how, he was constantly out of control, just out of control. And so just being aware and mindful of your habits, of when you pick your phone up, how often you pick it up, and begin to journal, just becoming more aware.
Well, you can see it tells you your time on the phone, how many times per week or how many hours per week, or it's increased this week.
Yeah.
So, you should make that a challenge to see if you can decrease that little at a time. And then before you know it, I have been very conscious of it over the last 6 months. And I feel so much better.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Another thing that's very interesting to me in this world of knowing so much, I think that probably is a challenge to our balance. I don't know that we were meant to know
everything,
this amount of information. I remember our grandparents dealing with World War II. They didn't know really what was happening until 2 years later or much later. You don't really know, but we've got this real time of what's happening and how that can really shake us up.
It's a lot for our brains.
It is.
It really is, to keep all that information.
Yeah. What information is coming in, you've actually got to process it. And so be thinking about, how am I going to digest this mentally? Right. All right. Well, let's move on to our work and rest and a lifestyle balance. Why do so many people feel guilty um, when when they rest? I mean, why is that
Yeah, I think
a
it's
thing?
society, because society has taught us that success comes from being productive.
Yeah.
And if you're resting, you're not being productive, which
Hmm.
that's not true at all.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's where it comes from.
Hmm.
You're lazy if stop being lazy, get up, get up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference. You could be lazy
Yeah.
and not get up enough.
Yeah.
But for the people that are productive during the day,
Hmm.
take the time to relax.
Hmm.
And relaxing doesn't mean you have to be sleeping.
Right.
You could be doing something that does not strain your energy if it
Hmm.
regenerates your energy. So it could even be doing things like, if you like a hobby that
Hmm.
gives you joy,
Hmm.
that is something that you could be doing to just rest and disconnect from everything. Taking a nice walk in the woods, or
Hmm.
meditation, or journaling,
Hmm.
anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we really grasp the power of rest. 15 to 20 minutes, closing your eyes. Um, it just it brings you so much um benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are some healthy forms of recovery outside of sleep?
Right. Well, it's kind of what
Yeah.
I had just
Yeah,
mentioned.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of
Mhm.
those things, doing a hobby,
Mhm.
taking a nice walk outside, meditation.
Yeah.
There's so many options.
Yeah. Off the phone,
Off the
off the
phone.
computer, off the
Yes.
TV.
Yes.
I think so many
Quiet.
times we've had a really hard day and we just want to veg out and turn the TV on and start scrolling even the TV.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
so
When I first started to try meditation, oh my,
it's a challenge.
it was a challenge for me. I
Mhm.
didn't realize how hard it was
Yeah.
for me to quiet my mind.
Mhm.
And it took me quite a while before
Mhm.
I felt comfortable with it. And now I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on it. It's amazing how you can train yourself.
I want us to talk a little bit about meditation because I think that I've had lots of conversations with folks, and of course, we're a faith-based organization, and so
Hmm.
when you bring up meditation, there's two different types, and one is Eastern meditation, which is emptying the mind, and then there's Christian meditation, which is filling the mind. And I thought that was very helpful to me to understand, when you are going through that process of calming and and really focusing on your thoughts, what are you filling your mind with?
With. Mhm.
And so I thought that
That's
was really
nice. That's
helpful.
very nice.
That
Yeah.
was helpful to
Mhm.
me.
Explain that. Yes.
Yeah, you could use the word prayer, but for those who are wondering that might be listening, what kind of meditation? Really, it's an affirmation of scripture. It's an affirmation of good thoughts. Philippians 4:18 comes to mind. Think on these things. Whatever is beautiful and lovely and noble and kindness, think on these things. So, um, again, good stuff.
Good thing to bring that up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about social balance and relationships. Um, when I was looking at this topic, and you and I were going over this, I was thinking about when I got married. We actually, uh, I think your husband and we've all been married about 30 years,
Hmm.
right? And we went to register for China,
Oh, yes.
right? They're not doing that anymore.
No, no.
But it's interesting how that one act has kind of trickled down Because the reason that you register for all that is because you're fellowshipping around the table. And so I
like that.
you know, we've had so many conversations about how important it is to get together and what a challenge it is to get together with our friends.
Scheduling.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just because the first, second, or third date doesn't work doesn't mean you don't keep working on it. So how do relationships affect your physical and your mental health? How important are relationships?
Yeah, well, healthy relationships really they reduce your stress, and they really make you emotionally resilient. Having that someone or group of people that you can connect with.
Mm-hmm.
So, it by reducing stress, that's helps your blood pressure, your circulation, your brain. It goes deep into your health. Having that healthy relationship, and being social is a great thing, but you need to have balance in that. You need to know when to say yes and when to say no. You cannot always say yes. That will burn you out, and that would be doing the opposite. Need to keep it in balance.
Yeah.
So that's the part of what we needed to be discussing, is to make sure that you do have boundaries. Boundaries are not selfish. They are very helpful and healthy. So,
but sitting around a table with 3 or 4 couples and chatting about life and children and grandchildren, there's always laughter. There's always, oh my goodness, I didn't realize y'all were dealing with the same thing.
Yes.
There's a lot of encouragement and joy that happens around a table. Yeah, no wonder, the churches like to eat so much. Why is social connection important for longevity and wellness?
Well, similar to what I had said, it does bring joy and happiness to you. It reduces your stress. It just helps your body be in balance.
Yeah.
So
I think back about COVID and how out of balance our world was. Such extremes, right?
It was awful.
Just very extreme. And our children that were in kindergarten wearing masks are still dealing with challenges of reading and functioning. And so that isolation was really a tough thing for a lot of people. And so you're right. That was an extreme situation. And then now that all those things were lifted and everybody's mask came off, everybody was so ready to get together. So there was a pendulum swing way over here. And so I feel like that we're kind of
right in the middle now.
Yeah, I feel like that we're doing pretty good and just kind of not settling, but really enjoying
balancing
that.
It. Yeah, right. A good balance. Yeah.
Exactly. Having respect for one another, and realizing that we are living in a community of gifts and talents. There's no way that you can do everything on your own.
Right.
Yeah, and recognizing that. So as we're wrapping up this session today on our part 2 of balance, if somebody that is listening to this episode is feeling totally out of balance right now, what would you say would be their very first start? What would you say would be a great thing to do?
They need to start small. Don't think they have to do it all. Just small, consistent changes have so much more impact than if you do something dramatic and randomly. So take a walk. Just take a walk, 10 minutes. Go out after a meal, take a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
See how you feel.
Yeah.
Small little things. Drink a little more water.
Deep breathing.
Deep breathing. Just
Yeah.
so many simple little things that you could just 10 minutes out of your day.
Yeah.
And then once you got that, just add another one and just see where you go with that. So don't be overwhelmed.
Yeah. Well, and we are so excited to have our lineup. We've got all of our dates set for you all to be able to come here to the filling station. So the first date is July the 28th. And
5:30.
5:30. It's a Thursday. And we'll have a special guest here, Todd Burrier, talking about Three Circles Living and the mindset of really having a more balanced life. And we're going to serve dinner.
5:30 to 7.
Yeah. So everything is right there on the website. They can take the good energy checklist to figure out things that they need to do. I've taken the checklist, and it's really revealing about
where you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's really hard to track if you don't know where you are, right?
Right.
But it's a journey. And, the last thought that I will share here is that we often resist change, but don't we enjoy the benefits of growth?
Amen.
We love the benefits.
Yes.
We don't like the change.
Right.
So I like to use the word tweak. So we're just doing some tweaking here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be perfection.
Yeah. Perfection is so overrated.
It is.
So thank you again for joining us for another episode, Bridging Foods and Meds. We are really looking forward to seeing you in person here at the filling station. Our first session, you'll see all the dates on our website. So please visit fillingstation1075.com, go to programs, and then Bridging Foods and Meds. You'll see the good energy checklist. Take that checklist and go ahead and register. Register for all 6 seminars. Those are 6 dinners that you don't have to fix. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 6 dinners here at the filling station. But we do have limited spots. So we want to make sure you get registered for these. And Marcy is doing a great job putting the curriculum and getting the speakers here and organizing all of this for us. So a big thank you to Marcy Hoffman, who is our new on-site nutrition educator. And
yes,
so
my new title.
Yeah.
I
So
love it. Love it.
Yeah. We thank you again for joining us. Remember to subscribe to Filling Station 1075 on YouTube and never miss an episode. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.